Hello and welcome back to algebra class. Today we are going to be looking at slope. Our objective for today's lesson is to use the rate of change to solve problems and to find the slope of a line. Slope is the ratio of the change in the y-coordinates, also known as the rise, to the change in the x-coordinates, also known as the run, as you move in the positive direction. The slope formula is, as we said, it is rise over run. Another way to think about it is you can use your slope equation, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In order to have a slope that would be considered positive, it has to be going up as we go to the left. So notice, as we go to the left, our line goes up. To have a negative slope, our slope has to be going down as we go to the right. Notice it's going down. To have a slope of 0, that basically means your line stays flat at all times. So it's flat. To have a slope that is undefined, that means our line has to be straight up and down. So it's going to basically be going straight up and down. That means it is undefined. A way to remember that is a little picture. His name is Slopey Face. If you want to write this down on your paper, you are free to do that. To do that, you make a plus sign and a minus sign for his eyes. He's surprised, so his eyebrows go like this. And then we have a nose that looks like that. And we have a mouth that looks like so. How that works is, if you notice, you have the left eye shows you that you have a positive slope. The right eye shows you a negative slope. The nose has a U on the bottom, which shows you that if it's a straight up and down line, it's going to be undefined. And the flat line has zeros on the side, and that shows you that you have a slope of 0. Let's go ahead and look at a few examples. So find the slope of the line that passes through each pair of points. So how I do this, there are two different methods you can use. I will show you both methods on this first page, and you can choose the method that you like. I will tell you the method that I find to be most successful for most students is called the stack and slide method. And here's how that works. In order to stack, you basically just rewrite your coordinates right on top of each other. I apologize, I messed up right there. Give me 1 second. So to stack them, once again, you write your coordinates right on top of each other. So we have -1 and 2, and then we have 3, 4. I have stacked them on top of each other. Now comes the slide portion, and I go like that. Now here's how the stack and slide works. So the slide portion looks like this. I imagine that that shape that I've made is a slide, so I slide, whoops, that should not be there. So I slide my 4 down, I slide the 2 down, I slide the 3 down, and I slide the -1 down. After I do that, the final step is to make sure I put a minus sign between them no matter what. So 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative 1 minus 3 is going to be negative 4. Negative 2 divided by negative 4 gives us a slope of 1/2. So that's the stack and slide method. The second method is to simply use your equation, and to do that, all you have to do is label your x1 and y1. So that's x1, that's y1, that's x2, that's y2. And all we do is we are going to have, we put minus signs. And if you remember, we basically take our, if we go back to our equation, we're going to use this equation right here. So y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So let's go ahead and look how that looks here. So I'm going to take my y2, which is 8 in this case, minus my y1, which is 6 in this case. And I'm going to take my x2, which is 4, and I'm going to take my x1, which is 3. Now I just have to simplify that fraction. So 8 minus 6 is going to be 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So my slope is 2. That is 2 methods to do this. If you like the stack and slide method, you can use that. If you like the equation method, you can use that. My recommendation is to use stack and slide. That's what I'll be using the rest of this video. So once again, for our next problem, I'm going to go ahead and stack them up. So I have negative 1, negative 2, negative 4, and 1. I have stacked my 2 points up. Now I need to draw my slide. Okay. My next step is to slide them. So I slide my 1 down, slide my negative 2 down, slide my negative 4 down. Oops. Slide my negative 1 down. And I cannot forget to put a minus sign between them each and every single time. So I got to put a minus sign no matter what. Okay. So I get negative 2 minus 1 is going to be negative 3. Negative 1 minus a negative 4. That's really like saying plus a positive 4. So negative 1 plus 4 is going to be 3. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. You'll notice I am putting m equals here. Yes, you do have to put m equals. That represents slope. So I'm going to go ahead, stack up my next 2 points. So I have negative 2, 2, negative 6, and 4. I'll go ahead, draw my slide. I'm going to go ahead and slide them down. 4 slides down, 2 slides down, 6 slides down, negative 2 slides down. I always have to put a minus sign between the two numbers no matter what. So I get 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus negative 6 is really like saying plus 6. So negative 2 plus 6 is going to be 4. Negative 2 divided by 4 is negative 1/2. Go ahead and look at our next one. So I'm going to stack them up again. So I have 6, 7, negative 2, 7. Draw my slide. I'm going to go ahead, take my 7, take my 7, take my -2, take my 6, put a minus sign between them because I have to every single time. 7 minus 7 is 0. 6 plus 2 is 8. And let's double check here and see what 0 divided by 8 is so we don't mess that up. So I have 0 divided by 8 is 0. So my slope is 0. Let's go ahead and look at our next one. We have 3, 2, 3, -1. Draw a line. Slide them down now. -1, 2, 3, and 3. Put a minus sign between them because I have to do that every single time no matter what. 2 minus -1 is really like 2 plus 1, so I can go ahead and say 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So many of you may be saying the answer is 0, and I am here to tell you it is not. Let's double check and see actually what it is. If you're ever confused, use your calculator to help you out. 3 divided by 0 is, it will say error divided by 0. That means that our answer is not possible, so it's going to be m equals undefined. Okay, let's look at our next problem here. So it says use the graph to find the slope. So there's a couple different ways to do this. The first way, I'm going to show you two different ways. The first way is to use the actual graph to let you know. So if we remember, slope is actually the rise over the run. So what I can do is I can actually draw a little triangle on here. And I always have to start from the leftmost point. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right down to where that second dot goes. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw another line like so. So in this case, I'm going to use rise over run. So I definitely know that I'm going to have a fraction. And I went down. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down. So I went down 8. So if I went down 8, I'm going to say minus 8. And then I always have a positive run. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4 squares to the right. So my rise over my run is -8 over 4. All I have to do to finish that off is I say m equals -8 divided by 4 is going to be -2. So that's how I would get my slope there. Now, the only other thing I would like to point out here, it would be completely okay if when you did this, you just did stack and slide, because I gave you the points right here. If you wanted to just stack and slide those 2 points, that would be completely okay. You should get the same exact answer as we got, okay? So find the rate of change represented in the following table. So there are a couple different ways to do this. In my opinion, the easiest way to do it is just to stack and slide. To do that, all you have to do is pick any 2 points on this table. So I'm going to choose the first 2 simply because that's what I want to do. So I have 2 points. Now all I have to do is stack them and slide them just like I know how to do. So I have -3, -6, -1, and -10. So I've stacked them up. Now I just got to slide them. And if you did this with 2 other points, you still should get the same exact answer as me as well. So it really doesn't matter which 2 points you pick. So I got slide it down, slide it down, slide it down, slide it down. I have to put a minus sign between my 2 points because that's what I have to do every single time. So negative 6 minus negative 10, that's really like plus 10. So it's going to be negative 6 plus 10 is going to be 4. Negative 3 minus negative 1, that's really like saying plus 1. So that's going to be negative 2. 4 divided by negative 2 gives me a slope of negative 2. Do the same thing on the next problem. So I'm going to say 7, 4, and 10, 10. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and stack those up. So I have a 7. I got a 4. I got a 10. And I got a 10. And once again, you could pick any 2 points you wanted on this thing, and it still should work out for you. 10, 4, 10, 7. Put a minus sign between them. 4 minus 10 is going to be negative 6. 7 minus 10 is going to be negative 3. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. And that is all we have for today. So you are all set to go at that point. Have a great rest of your day.